Hi everybody, welcome back to the workshop. Today we've got a Bernina B325 in, nice Swiss machine. It's come in for a service, I think. Let's have a look. Yep, service, need it back quick. I think it's for the lady's daughter who's going to sewing class or going to university next week. So we're going to get this done nice and quick for them. They can get up and do their course. Right, just I've plugged it in, I've checked the fuse is okay. Just give it a run to check if there's any noises or squeaks I need to be aware of when I strip it down. It runs nice, doing a zigzag. Stitch adjusts fine wide, and the feed dog seemed to adjust fine for a long stitch. Try the reverse. Yeah, teeth went into reverse. That's all good. So it doesn't look like there's anything actually wrong with the machine, but we can set that when I sew it in. Bobby minder's working. Yeah, so a nice, simple, straightforward service. We'll take the bobbin case out, take the hook out, put that back on so it doesn't get caught, unplug it all, and we'll start to take it apart. Okay, I'll do the front one first. These have Torx screws in them, not normal screws, so use a Torx screwdriver. That should just pop off the side cover. Like that. Pretty fluffy in there, as you can see that. See this fluff here? Lots there. So we'll just give it a quick close. Yep. There's quite a bit of fluff in there, which is nice. It means the machine's been used, and there's no point having a sewing machine if you're not going to use it. There's some thread caught in there as well, which we can remove when I've got it apart. Just blow out the tension unit. We'll send that to 0. Lift the presser foot up. That's good. Take the covers off the back. We've got this screw here which takes the main power unit off. Nice extra long screw on that one, goes right through the power unit. It should just pop off, which it does. Connector in there which we'll undo. So that is the actual power supply unit on a Bernina, so it's all in one unit. Clips on the back, one cable here plugs in. So that's nice and simple to get that out of the way. One screw there, another one here. Actually did one of these a few weeks ago, so I'm pretty much remembering where it all goes. Another one there. Another one here. All these screws are the same length apart from this one, so they can all go back. Just got to remember now. Hand wheel, take that off. And this should just come away. Make sure this cable there doesn't get caught. And that's the back removed. Right, remove the front cover now. It's quite tricky, you have to be really careful here because you've got these connectors. I don't know if you can pick up on these. I'll show you here. So along this top of the machine are all the connectors and they just pull out. So always best to take note. I know where they go, so I don't really need to remember where they go. And there's also a screw there, but you have to be careful when undoing this screw not to trap any cables. And this screw holds the cover on. It's one of the screws that holds the cover on. And that is a different screw to the others because it's not a machine screw, it's actually got a thread on there like a wood screw. There's that one there. There's another one down here. Which is another same screw. Pop this little wheel off here, which is that balances the buttonhole stitch. That gets in the way. So that will come off now. And I know there's another screw, just trying to remember where it was. There's this one here, and the bottom has to come out. I know there's one in here. Don't even need to look for that one, so I remember that from last time. That's that loose. All I need to do now is there's another one down here. There's lots of cables on these, lots of fine cables. It's important not to catch any and nip any up, because that will cause problems. And then we can pull out this light, which can just hang. Should now be able to take this away. Another one there that came undone. Another one there. It's a bit tricky just to make sure all these cables are plugged back in when we put the machine back together. Just ease it off. You have to take it off gently. It's quite delicate, these machines. Doesn't seem to be. Let's have a look around the front. This needs to come underneath there. That's it. Comes away from there, and there's a couple more things to unattach, which is we need to loosen off this cable here. So it means these are attached to the front cover. I'll show you when I've got them apart, which is that on there. Very fiddly, unless you're confident with these. Don't get too involved. We'll leave that one attached, pull it through. Actually, I'll disconnect it here. Okay, so there's the front cover. There's a couple of connectors here and here, which you have to connect to these cables at the front. There's a pin there I found in the cover. Give it a little blow. the way. So yeah, these two leads here connected to the front cover, and all of these leads also connect. It's just a matter of popping them back on once the covers are together. Okay. Just give this a bit of a blow. Move that cover there. A lot of fluff. I'm sure the compressor will kick in a minute. If it does, I'll stop talking. That's blown all the fluff out now, so it's pretty clean in there. A little very dry though, there's not much lubrication in there. Probably hasn't been done for a little while. We'll pop the hand wheel back on temporarily. Means I can turn the machine over. It does feel a little bit stiff, but it's not too bad. I've had a lot worse. We need to do now, start working the oil in. Again, on my other videos you've seen me just working along all the joints. I'm doing this pretty quick because I'm under a bit of a time scale. I've got loads of machines to do. I'm going to get this one done so the customer can come back and take it to uni with her daughter. Or school, I'm not sure what she's doing. These are so well made, these Berninas. They're very expensive machines, but if you're a serious sewer, worth every penny. These were first made in 2018. Not sure how old this one is, but I looked it up online just to see how old it was. The first time the instruction book was printed was 2018, so I'm presuming that's when they were made. Some more fluff in there I'm going to pick out rather than blow. Wrapped around the needle bar. As with most machines like this, it takes longer to get them apart than it does to actually oil them. Oiling is just finding all the moving parts. A drop here and there. Just make sure everything works. This here is the feed dog drop mechanism. Push it in. Once the cover's on it, it'll actually latch in position and stay. Drops the teeth down, feed dog, and then you push it again, it pops them back up again. Nice and simple. Some customers never use them. I don't know whether this customer does or not, but I'm just going to check something on here. These two clips are all good. Normally, well, not normally, sometimes these break. I'll keep spares ones of those. That's it. And now I'm just checking that the teeth come up enough. Last one of these I did, the teeth wasn't coming up enough, moving the fabric properly. So I just had to adjust it on this little screw here, the other one, but this one's fine. It'll sew along nicely. Drop on the motor pulley. And all these parts that turn. There's not much on the back of these. That there. Put some right deep down, let it flow a little bit, let it work its way into the hook. And we have the presser foot bar, needs oiling. And these Berninas, they're always moving up and down these. So if we make sure there's oil top and bottom, rid of the fluff. Lovely. Also, when you lift this, it pushes this across, which releases the tension, lets you get the thread inside. All machines have that. This just does it a different way. That's all good. I'm just going to take this screw out. This is the one I undid to get the casing off. I'll probably leave it in actually, because it can just sit there until I want to do it up again. It's not going to fall out. That's what I was concerned about. Just make sure all the fluff's gone from here. I'm just going to pop the hook back in. Now we're checking now on the hook, we're going to check for any burrs, any little dings or dents where the needles hit it. There aren't any, which is good. It's quite a lot of effort to damage one of these because it's tough and steel. That's all good. Got a drop of oil where the hook sits, not too much. I'm just going to turn the machine over by hand while the hook's in there. And doing this, I can now check the hook timing. That's good on that side. Just move the needle over a fraction to the right. Not too much. Get it as wide as it's going to go when it's sewing. And again, we're just checking that the hook comes round behind the needle, just above the eye of the needle, and grabs the thread. So that is spot on. It's very rare for these to go out of time. Let's make sure I haven't missed any. There's a take up link at the back. This is plastic. I've seen these break. I had a couple break the other week. I think somebody had dropped the machines, landed on this wheel, pushed the whole mechanism to the left. Push these bearings, there's two bearings there, push the whole lot across, smash them off. Expensive repair, that one. So don't drop your Bernina if you can avoid it. That's good. Just feels nice, these machines. Everything's right about them. I want to make sure I don't miss any oiling points. That's good, happy with that. What I'm going to do now is take the needle out because we don't need that anymore. I'll put a new one in a minute. And that can stay on there. Can actually put the hook in now, don't need the hook out anymore. Pop that back, hook cover there. That's all turning nicely. Okay, what we're going to do now is put it all back together again. Just make sure I've oiled everything. Since I've been filming these, it's It takes your mind off what you're doing sometimes filming. I just want to double check that I've got all the oiling points covered. Lovely, it's nice and free. Another bit on the step motor shaft just to give it a bit of lubrication. Alright, put it back together again now. Okay, we're going to put this front cover back on. I think I will be aware of when I do this from experience. Obviously I've got to plug these two leads back in, which is a bit fiddly, and I must put the case in this slot either side of this plastic plate. I did one fairly recently. I thought I got it all back together properly, and it was actually sitting above that plate. I had to take it all out again to do it, so that's a lesson learned. It was a pain, so I've never forgotten it, so I always make sure now that I do it. I've got to plug all these connectors back in, which is quite tricky. I'll try and do that. I have to do these once the case is on, and it is a fiddly job, but there's no other way to do it. You can't get them on and then put the case in. Right, let's get the cover. Okay, this latch is working. Just show you this. I showed you this feed dog mechanism here that drops the feed dog. This is the button that does it. As you can see, you push it in, it latches, and you push it again and it comes back. So that's the bit that holds it, so it stays where you want it to stay. This part here, I don't know if you can see it, let's bring it up here. Got these glass rods. They are actually light sensors, I believe, and they go in on this main shaft, so the machine computer will know what position the needle's in, because these are all different. There's little slots in each of these to let light through. I'm not a great electronics whiz kid, but I think there's lights pass through these rods which go either side of these plastic parts, and depending on what light is letting through, it knows if the needle's up or down, so it knows where to stop. I'm pretty sure there's a button on these. Yeah, there's a button here, needle position, so you can have it so when you've finished sewing it'll end down or up, so that's quite useful, and that's controlled by the light going through this. Everything else on this plate, no idea, just connectors, diodes, microchips. This is all the connectors here that I have to connect these cables into here. It's very tight. This is the tightest one here, this blue one, which goes into here, but we can pop those in when I've got it all together. It's quite a complicated machine, this one, but mechanically quite simple, but the electronics obviously make it complicated. Right, you're probably not going to pick up what I'm doing here because it is really fiddly. But we've got these cables here, which I've got to make them as long as I can so I can get my hand in there. This one isn't too bad. This yellow one, so I'm not really going to show on video what I'm doing here, but I can show you the yellow one that just goes in like that. I've got plenty of length on that one, so I can just push that back. For this one, that's all the length I've got, so grab the yellow one. This is the trickiest one, this little 2-core one. It's red at the top. I'm just going to have to struggle with it. That's it. And so I've managed to do it fairly easily. Don't know if you can see that there. I've now got both of these in, and as I bring the case in, I can take the slack up on these so they're not trapped. Get these in here. Okay, so I've got these two back now, so I can actually forget about these cables now and concentrate on getting this back in these grooves, which I've done. This one goes underneath, and that one covers up the tension dial, and that's come back nicely now. It's knowing where everything's got to be and just keeping your eye on all of it as you do it. So first thing I'm going to do is pop this screw back in the top to hold the casing still. I don't want to trap any cables. I'm very aware of that. Now that's done, I'm going to connect up all the cables now. If there's any problems, I need to take the cover off again. I want to be aware, not have all the screws to undo. Okay, trickiest one is this blue one, which take a little bit of practice to get these in, and a long screwdriver or a pair of tweezers. Just push that into the connector, which is done, but there's no movement on that. Once you move the cover, that just falls out. So that's the hardest one. In fact, this one's probably a little bit harder because there's something in the way. Not the best of light today. It's a dark day, a miserable autumn day. Just got to be very patient with these. There's no easy way. I'm going to have to lay this down, I think. Just get some light on it so I can see what I'm doing. I know it doesn't make great filming, but I can't really show you what I'm doing and do the job. Okay, I think that one's on there now. That's the hardest one because there's this big screw in the way here. So that's that one done. And then we got this one here. And probably they don't actually let you. They're all different sizes, these connectors, so you can't actually put the wrong one in the wrong slot. Another one there. This one here. That wasn't too bad. Okay. Very important to just make sure they're all in firmly, because you don't want to be taking the cover off again. Right, they're all on. This blue one here has stayed in, and that is the connectors back. Now we can slide back this light connector, which is fun. It'll only go one way. Patience, this job. Let's get it in the right slot. That's it there. So that's in good. What we do now is start to put some of these screws back. So we've got one. Something's not right. Something's hitting something. I'm guessing it's this screw here. screw I was trying to get out earlier looks like it's getting caught on something. Yeah. Screw that in. That's all right. The machine was jamming up on this screw because it was sticking back too much. Now it's not. That's all good. And we'll put another one in the bottom here. Put another one in the side. All comes back together again. So with that one there, that one's done. This one's pulls it all together. Don't over tighten them because you'll strip the plastic and it will be all sloppy. So let's double check everything's connected in place. I'm a bit paranoid about these plugs because I don't want to take them off again. That's all good. Pop this little wheel on here, which goes like so. Then put the back cover on. Need to make sure we put this connector through this slot. That's for the power unit. Take the handle off again to make our life easier. Again, make sure this goes properly onto this back plate. All clips in nicely. It's a quality machine, everything just fits. There's nothing that doesn't fit. We'll put this one in here. That's good. Another one here. Quite important when you put this back cover on to make sure you can see the threaded hole through there. It's none of those cables going across the hole. Just going to screw the screw in and nip the cable and break it. So you'll start to do your sewing and something won't work and you go, oh. I've had it before, not where I've nipped a cable, but where connectors come undone, you get it all back together again. Go to do a zigzag and the needle just stays in the middle and won't move. You've forgotten to plug the lead in, which goes from the PCB to the step motor. The machine's not being told to change width. That's it. So these are all nice and tight. Snip them up. Everything's gone together. Everything lines up. Put the power back in. Again, it only go one way round, which is this way. So we'll do this bit blind because you can't see. Make sure it's firmly in. Nice long screw. It's nice and free. Side wheel on. Whiz it round. Plug it in. Check everything works. It'd be ironic if it didn't. I had to take it apart again. That's easily done with these connectors, just to leave one loose or undone. It's powered up, that's good. Put control in there. Right, so the first thing I'll do is run it. It runs, that's good, motor's connected. It's just doing a straight stitch, put it onto zigzag. Needles go left and right. Put it into reverse. Goes into reverse, so that bit's good, the display's working. But yeah, as long as those things are working, buttonhole's working, needles going up and down, side to side, teeth are going long and short, and reverse. So that tells me the light's working. So that tells me that I've connected everything up. There's no loose cables. Another blowout. Front cover. These are sometimes a bit strange to put on. Get everything in place. That's it. Final screw in the side. Lines up nicely. Press a foot on, zigzag foot. Lovely. Okay, we'll put a new needle in it now. Every machine gets a fresh, straight, sharp needle. This is that button I was talking about, the needle position up and down. So this is showing down on the screen. Push it again, it shows up. If I push down and sew, it ends with the needle down. Press that and it ends with the needle up. That's all being done by those little glass probes. This is the customer's own cotton. I'm just checking it's tight, doesn't snap easily. If it does, it can cause problems. That's a nice one, so we'll use that. Go back threaded up then. There's the bobbin. Miles too much tension on that bobbin, I felt. So I'm guessing they've had issues looping stitches underneath, I'm guessing, on this machine. That's why it's come in. They don't normally come in just for a clean, there's normally an issue. Tension's miles too tight on the bottom. I think they probably had a loose stitch underneath the fabric, and logically people will always bottom stitch is bad, tighten the bottom tension, but it's actually the other way around. You tighten the top tension. So all they've done is tighten the bottom tension, made it worse. I'm just winding the bobbin. I'm keeping a bit of tension on the bobbin so it doesn't get all loose on the bobbin. I fit it right up for them. That's it. Bobbin case is lovely and clean. That's there, that's miles to it. I can barely pull it, that's so tight. This one here should always be tight enough to hold the weight of the cotton, the bobbin case. But if you shake it, it should just turn. I've got a black screw in here, so hard to see. So that's holding its weight, but if I shake it, it drops. Probably can't see that, but that's perfect tension on that. So this is going to make a hell of a difference to their sewing now. Something as simple as that. I'll set this on the red line there. Thread the machine up. You can thread really easily these. make sure follow the thread guides. Built-in threader on this one. See if it works. Yes, it does. Pull that through. Okay, hopefully you're still seeing this. Yeah. Okay, so take the thread down that once. We know the timing's good, so that'll pick the thread up. Put it underneath. Okay, so we're ready for sewing now. Just going to put the foot down, pull this tension here. Very tight. Just loosen it off a fraction. Well, that's probably okay. We won't know till we sew. I'm just going to try something a minute that I don't normally do. I had a machine in yesterday that would not sew this blue fabric. So every other fabric but this blue one, it's not even a stretchy fabric. I'm just going to see if it sews this. Just for my own peace of mind. Back onto that. A bit more length. Yep, that has sewn it. Intention's not right, but it's sewn it. So yeah, I don't know what happened yesterday with the machine. I had a Singer machine in, it just would not sew that blue fabric. So every other fabric I put through it, there was nothing else to adjust on it, so I just had to tell the customer to use a different fabric. Just going to tighten this up a little bit more. Don't want to change the number on the front, so I'm going to make the bottom a little bit tighter than normal. I want to try and keep this top tension on the red mark for no other reason but OCD really. Get fabric. Let's give it a sew. Very rarely a problem sewing with these Berninas, apart from the foot control won't sit properly for me. There we go. Right, basic straight stitch first. Check reverse, that's going backwards. I want to sew with the needle stopping down, so I can spin it round nicely. Yeah, it's a pretty nice stitch, look. That's underneath, that's on top. I'll do a zigzag now because that way shows up the bad tensions more. Zigzag, give it some width. Bit of length. That's nice. Perfect V, top and bottom. Get it a little bit shorter. Sounds lovely. Let's give it a stretch stitch to do. Lovely. Fabric's going back and forwards. Very nice machine. Actually got letters on this one as well. Try a few letters. I don't know if it's, I haven't got the instruction book for this. Yeah, it's doing those. Yeah, I don't actually know what it does, this machine, half of it. I'm in some sort of memory mode now. These are different memories the customer's already set up. I don't know what they've set them up as. What we do, turn it off and on again, it'll come back to normal sewing. I don't know what the customer's put in the memory, so still on memory. Clear maybe. I'll suss it out in a minute. I think there must be a list of patterns I don't know about on this machine. I'll have to find the book and clear it. It's sewing nicely. It's actually doing the letters. Just need to clear the memory down, I think, so I can get back to normal sewing. Come to me in a minute. Just randomly pressing stuff. That's buttonhole. Let me just grab the book. There we go. So yep, I was doing that. Let's see if that's cleared it. Good. Need the book in the end. Turn off, turn on again. Any good skybox. That's lovely. Yeah, I'm happy with the stitch. Let's do a stretch stitch now. We'll just change the width. It will do a zigzag stretch stitch. Lovely. That's got wrapped around there a little bit, which is why too much tension there. Let me just check that again that it's sewing. I just noticed something with the way it was threaded. Better. Just want to double check it. I don't like machines that go out not perfect, because like I said before, if I know they're perfect, if I get any problems with them, I know it's something the customer's doing, not something I've done. Top and bottom stitch, yeah, I'm happy with that. That's good. Bring that up. So I'll leave this one threaded because it's the customer's own thread. And then they can just plug it in and go with it, as long as they're doing white. In a different colour they can change it, but it shows them how to thread as well. If it's the daughter doing it for some sort of class, she might not be that au fait with sewing machines. And the teacher will probably show her. Got to find out what sort of course it is. It's nice that youngsters are sewing still. It's a great skill to have, to make things. If you can make things, you'll always have work. That's good. Pop one of my little stickers on, show I've done it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'd say it's quite hard to show sometimes these modern machines. Show what I'm doing the same time as doing it. Serviced by Sim Point. A little bit of glue down here for something. Just get some anti-glue on there. Smells good. That's it. Takes all that off. Don't know where that's come from. I know, nice machine. Always nice Berninas. Always a pleasure to service. That's pretty much it. I'm happy with the side it's sewing. I'll put that on there to show them what I've done with it. If you've enjoyed my video, please like. If you haven't, tell me why. Try and make them a bit more interesting. It's not always easy though, because I'm doing a job and getting it right is more important than getting it filmed right. But yeah, one Bernina B325 serviced, sewn in, cleaned. I think the customer will be pleased it's come back so quick. It's only dropped it off yesterday, but they said it was urgent, so I always try and help people out if it is urgent. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.